Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar, and welcome to a brand new episode of the One Piece Virgin. This one has been a long time coming because we got to cover like 14 different chapters. But basically, due to the beginning of a new arc, we wanted to give it some time, and then we got some scheduling issues that got in the way, so that's why it's taken this long. But don't worry, we've been planning to do this for a long time, and now we'll be talking about the new arc, the Egghead Island arc, sometimes called the Future Island arc. A ton of things happened. First and foremost, Vegapunk was revealed multiple times actually because of how he was revealed, and it's just crazy. We got connections between Vegapunk and Dragon and Clover from O'Hara. We got CP0 trying to assassinate Vegapunk. We got the Straw Hats trying to protect him. We got the reveal that a former member of the Rocks Pirates has just returned as a clone.
Dude, there
Like,
is some crazy
oh,
stuff going on in
oh, I
Wano.
don't even think we covered that Lulusia, the kingdom of Lulusia, was destroyed by a massive weapon of mass destruction controlled by Imu-sama.
And
All right,
Sabo was on it.
let's
Yeah,
slow that.
Sabo
Let's slow,
died.
let's slow that hype
Sabo
down.
died again, bro.
Dude, Animax literally like, can we get much higher? He didn't even introduce like me and goes in. He just got right into it. He's so excited to be back.
Oh, true. It's Briggs and Gozen. What's up,
This is
guys?
what
Goes in and
happens when
Briggs.
when we didn't talk so much about it. It just starts like coming out like crazy. You can't control it. You're just like,
Can't
and
control
this
the One
happened, this
Piece,
happened, and
man.
this happened.
The One Piece hype train cannot be stopped. I must say, like I liked Wano. It was good. There was some things I didn't like about it, but right now I am falling back in love with One Piece with these last 14 or so
I
chapters.
don't even get that statement, falling back in love with One Piece, because that implies falling out of love with One
Well,
Piece. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just wasn't addicted to reading it weekly. Like I was taking breaks and then binging it and enjoying it. Versus when I'm addicted, like the way I am now, like I have to read the next chapter because I'm like really
I wonder.
invested in this arc.
Yeah, I
I
wonder.
wasn't as invested in the Wano arc because I feel like I wasn't connected with Kaido as a villain.
And
Yeah.
I mean, we
So
keep during this arc. This is like a revelatory arc in the sense that we just met Vegapunk, and he's revealing a bunch of
Yes.
information that we've been waiting for years and years. Wano was we got some reveals there, of course, but most of it was like fighting chapters or Wano specific stuff. But now we're learning so much about the world, about the Void Century and technology in this world, and every chapter, even the new chapter, like raw leaks just dropped and there's going to be massive revelations in chapter 1073. So it's like, bro, it just never ends.
I think that's a great point. Like now at least for me, like I love the world of One Piece. I love the mystery of One Piece, and we're finally getting given some of that. So now I'm right hopping back in and like just absorbing it all, wanting to hear it all.
yeah, the way I was talking to it about Briggs yesterday, or when we did the anime version, was that everything is popping off right now. It's
Hmm.
not like the world is standing still while like our main characters are doing another arc, and then we'll figure out what they did later. It's like no, everything is coming to a head right now. We got Garp going after Blackbeard, who's fighting Law, who kidnapped Cody. Kobe,
Yeah.
it's like crazy ass shit while Luffy and his friends are also going on insane battles and
Yeah,
adventures.
there's like a whole world conflict going on because, as I said, Emu destroyed Lulusia with a mysterious ancient weapon that looked like a planet that just like rains destruction on top of something. And many are speculating that this could be the ancient weapon Uranus because Uranus is the personification of the sky in Greek mythology. So, and
Ooh,
also
that's
so
interesting
people are
theory.
saying, well, this is what Uranus actually is, the ancient weapon, and Emu controls it, which is definitely possible. It's
Yeah,
sky
think
related,
that's
right?
fair.
I feel like it
Yeah.
has to be
Um,
some type of ancient weapon. I believe that.
it has to be
Yeah,
something big. Like you can't just be like, oh, random thing that appears, right?
And
It
I
either has
doubt
to
it's
be
like
like,
one person's devil fruit or something. I guess it's possible, but I feel like
yeah,
that's
like if it's a
unlikely.
devil fruit, it has to be like an insane awakened devil fruit,
God
or
tier,
it's an
yeah.
ancient weapon. Like it has to be one of those two things.
I think it's Eneru smiting down a planet from the moon.
I just think it's so crazy how like they don't just say we destroyed a planet. We're like, yo, it never existed. Like that shit
Yeah,
is fucking
what
crazy.
kingdom of Lulusia, bro?
Yeah,
What are you
that's
talking about?
fucked. That's
It makes for
crazy.
amazing villains when they're like, yo, we're not just gonna beat you. We're gonna make it like you never existed.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy.
it's very Orwellian, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very government way of doing things,
I love the
or
mind games going
world
on with
government way of doing things, I should say.
it. Exactly.
You were right the first time, bro. Anyway, so yeah, so we had all of those things. And now Sabo is presumed dead for like the third time. We had um, Blackbeard attacking Boa, trying to take her devil fruit.
Yeah, let's start with that. So
Oh,
we had
okay.
is so basically all the Shichibukai were disbanded. We already knew this. We saw that Buggy and Mihawk and what the fuck's his name? Crocodile kind of had their little cross guild thing that's hilarious and I love it. But the world government's going after the Shichibukai right now and they're attacking. Is it Amazon Lily? What's the island?
Yeah, it was Amazon Lily, so they attacked it,
Mm-hmm.
and the goal was for Blackbeard to steal Boa's fruit because
Mm-hmm.
he has the ability to steal devil fruits because he wants the power of being able to like turn to stone anyone who loves
Yeah,
him.
it's an overpowered
Now,
ability, but would he
now,
be able to use it properly since he's an ugly fucker?
yeah, so people were saying that maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe it's actually depends on the user. So for Boa, because she's so attractive, finding her attractive turns you to stone. But maybe for Blackbeard, if he makes you angry or provokes you,
Yeah, but it's
then
like
he could do that.
the love fruit, isn't it, or something like that?
What if the fruit also makes you really, really hot? Like,
Imagine.
did
I
we
mean that would make sense.
did we know
Yeah,
if she was good looking when she was younger, or she
I
always
think
has
she
did she always
was.
have the fruit?
I think she
I
was, but
I feel
there
like her
are
sisters
fruits.
got some noggins on them, bro. Her sisters got some heads on them, and she just didn't get that. I think it was the love fruit that shrunk her head down to a
And it's
normal
called
size.
love fruit, so it would be weird if like it just becomes
So what
anger
you're
or
saying,
something.
Blackbeard, if he ate it, he would become like a Giga Chad, like ripped 8 pack.
100%. This
Making guys lust over him and
Sigma
shit.
male face.
I mean, that would create like solve the problem of like the main big antagonist being like a fat dude.
Boa got the fruit as a teenage slave. Yes, that makes sense. I remember that
I
actually
don't see
when they escaped and Fisher Tiger and all
why
that.
why can't villains be fat, Gozen?
I don't know. I'm just used to shonen villains like
Are
looking
you
cool.
evil
You know what I
fat
mean?
phobic, bro? Like I don't get it.
I'm used to shonen villains looking cool, like Katakuri or something, and
You
then you
think
just have
fat
like
people
this.
can't be cool?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
feel
don't
like it
know.
works really well
I
for
don't know if you
Blackbeard and his gluttonous nature.
in today's climate. I maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm just saying like yeah, it's a cooler when like dude's like ripped than when he's fat. Yeah.
Disagree. Have you met Chris Farley, bro?
Like, look at Zoro. We would not think he's as cool if he was some fat dude.
So you're saying Jinbei isn't cool?
Not as cool as Zoro.
Okay, well
That's
not
true.
everyone has to be Zoro, bro.
No, yeah. So that's just what I was pointing out. Like, but
Yeah,
I love
I do
Blackbeard. I
think
think he's fascinating.
I do think Arlong looks more badass than Jinbei. I don't think he is more badass than Jinbei, but I do think he looks more badass. I think something about being round versus being sharp is like a key, like a distinct figure in in looking cool versus not
I
cool.
like fat Blackbeard, and
I agree. I think it works really well for Blackbeard.
and
We
about the
we go
cross
on these
guild.
random ass tangents, man.
About
It's
the
like
cross
goes
guild, we
uncancelled.
learned that with the cross guild, we learned that Buggy becoming an emperor
Yeah.
was actually an accident because most of the work was done by Mihawk and Crocodile, but because Buggy stands were the ones who came up with the poster, they like put Buggy front and center, and then the world government interpreted the poster as saying that Buggy is the one who united
I
Mihawk and
love that
Crocodile
so
into his
much.
guild. So he was the one who became an emperor. And Mihawk and Crocodile were not happy about it initially, but then Mihawk was like, you know what? We don't want that heat on us anyway, so let Buggy be the
The
emperor. Who
scapegoat.
cares?
Was that in this amount of
No,
chapters
that
that
was in the
reveal?
last chapters, but still, it's worth
Okay.
mentioning.
Yeah. I was gonna say
No,
that's
it
one of my
wasn't.
favorite things. Yeah.
But
I'm almost
it kind of brings us
I'm
to
almost certain that we didn't discuss this yet. We only learned about the Cross Guild last time, but we didn't know how the Cross Guild came to be.
Okay. Fair enough.
I thought
Fair enough.
I don't think it's included in 159 through forward,
Okay,
but
well then find it, and then when you see you're wrong, you can say,
yeah,
"Oh, I was wrong."
you might be
No,
right.
no harm in recovering it anyways, because it's just
Yeah.
insane stuff.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it
one of
kind of
my
it implies to right now why Amazon Lily is being attacked, and there was Kobe there was Blackbeard, there was Boa Hancock,
warlords doing shit. Yeah.
Rayleigh fucking bluffs them off the bluffs the scenario into like a little bit of a little bit of like a ceasefire, but we
Yeah,
noticed
bro,
that
the
there's like
Dark King came back.
there's like a smaller version of Boa right there that's like super powerful, and obviously we now know it's like another pacifista seraphim thing, where they basically cloned the current Chichibukai, and they're maturing
Souped
and
them
getting
up.
stronger.
Yeah,
It's
gave them OP genes too, like from Lunarians and stuff
yeah,
like that.
that's
Yeah,
absolutely that's why they don't need the Chichibukai system
exactly.
anymore, is because they're literally being replaced with themselves but better.
Yeah, exactly. So I found that too, and I just want to say, like, again, the idea of putting bounties on fucking admirals and the Navy is fucking amazing. That's one of my favorite
Yes,
twists in the entire series.
gigantic brain.
And Crocodile is just sick. Mihawk is sick. Buggy
Yeah,
is always entertaining.
that is a
That
brilliant
group is
idea,
amazing.
especially given the current climate in the world, because right now a bunch of countries are rebelling against the world government, which the revolutionaries are of course leading. So a bunch of countries are rebelling. To them, the revolutionaries are heroes, and the world government and the Marines are villains. So then coming up with bounties for the Marines and admirals, saying you're right, they are villains, and that's why they should have bounties on their heads because they're criminals. It just works so well with that current climate.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I
All right,
think it also divides people because let's say someone didn't even want to go after them, didn't care. All of a sudden, there's a high bounty on some marine. They're like, oh, might as well collect it. So it puts them on their toes even more.
it works so
Yeah,
perfectly considering how out of balance the world is right now. Like there's
It's
constant
mayhem.
it's
It's
constant power
pandemonium.
struggles between the Revolutionary Army, the world government, Vegapunk right now, and whose side he's gonna be going on. Obviously,
Well,
you
we
got
know
all
who he
all the
is. Yeah.
pirates and the emperors and all the like all this shit's going down. There's all this power struggle, and now they're like, all right, we're giving the Marines bounties. Like that's just so fucking cool to me.
yeah, and it really reflects how the world government is losing control now.
Exactly. All
It's
right, so
exciting.
our Straw Hat crew closes in on an island, and they are greeted with the first Vegapunk. And I laughed out loud. I'm like, of course, fucking Vegapunk's a hot woman. Before finding out, like, obviously we see 002 on her chest, or 02
Zero
on her
two. Yeah.
chest. My apologies. But I just fucking, I'm like, of course, Vegapunk is a young, attractive woman. It just made me laugh. Like our first
I,
introduction, at least.
that was my opinion too. I thought it was just like her, and I rolled with it. But people were quick to point out in the comment section, like, yeah, bro, it says 02, and then that did give you a clue that
Yeah.
there were more. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about the whole Vegapunk reveal because I kind of like the idea of him being like a hot woman who maybe like became an android in order to like preserve her youth or something like that. Like I thought that was something like an interesting twist, but then he ended up being like a very stereotypical like Einstein-inspired scientist, only way goofier than I expected because I thought he would be like this like badass character, but he's just like this super goofy guy with an elongated head.
Didn't he eat the brain fruit?
Yes, he
Yeah,
I
where
did.
feel like
his
that was
head
like
just keeps getting bigger as he gets a bunch of information, and then he can extract that information and put it elsewhere, and then his head gets
So is it
smaller.
the fruit that allows him to endlessly learn information and like consume information and like actually
Yes,
hold
but
on
it
to
also
it?
makes his head big. Yeah.
But his brain kept on growing and growing.
It's
That
part of the fruit
he
powers. Yeah.
now came to the conclusion that he did he chop up his not chop up his brain, but basically he separated himself into like all these different versions of himself, and then at the end of every day, like everything that they learn and experience gets like brought back to a main hub. So I think the concept is really interesting.
Well, he
Although
created the cloud, basically. He created the cloud and
yeah,
internet.
I don't know. I feel like something about the brain fruit, him having it was just like ah, like
I agree. Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree
I don't
with
know how to
Animac.
describe my feelings towards it, but I wasn't in love.
I agree with Animac, and yeah, I think it's not a cool design, but with Oda, I'm used to it, and the fact that they gave us like 6 satellites also gives you like, okay, well, I don't like this design, but the Daft Punk one is cool, like the
Mhm.
Lilith one is cool, so you can pick and choose, so that kind of made it better. But yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, that huge head standing next to Dragon wasn't like
Yeah,
cool
and
as
like
fuck.
all of the all of the satellite designs were cooler than the final model, which the final reveal, which you were expecting to be the most interesting one, right?
Yeah, but it's classic One Piece though. Like obviously we often have goofy characters, like that happens in One Piece.
Oh, I know, but yeah, I was still expecting someone more badass.
So, did we get to find out Luffy's like dream here, or the crew found out Luffy's actual dream, or like why he wants
But
to
we
be a
didn't.
pirate king, but
The
we
crew
didn't?
did, but we didn't.
So
Yeah.
the crew's been on a journey with him for this long, and they never knew. That's fucked.
I, I I think Arthur from Library of O'Hara has a point when he says that the dream could be to have like the world's greatest party that everyone is invited to, and it's going to require kind of tearing down the red line and creating the old blue in order to have everyone partying together.
There definitely will be I feel like a eat as much as you want kind of aspect to it. Like unlimited food aspect to it.
But I
Yeah,
doubt
because
that. I doubt that's his like main goal. I don't know.
well, like it's not to be the Pirate King. We know that being the Pirate King would just be a step towards his
It's a
dream,
means to an
so it
end.
has to be something more.
The way people like laugh at it makes me think that yeah, it could be like a party all you could eat stuff like that. Another part of me thinks they say it's impossible. Another part of me thinks maybe like everyone comes together, including like, the Marines, the former Marines, the pirates, like all borders sort of cease to exist, the hatred and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see
But
his dream being tied to him being completely free and him making everyone completely free.
yes, because it
Um,
sounds impossible as fuck, right?
like he wants everyone to be completely free, to kind of do what they want, live their life, whatever. But I don't know if it's like, oh, I want everyone to have a great big party.
There has to be a laughter portion of it, because like
Mm.
I think like if like throwing in something like all you could eat meat or something like would just be perfect for Luffy
But Luffy
and
doesn't share his meat. He wants all the meat.
yeah, but he wants all the meat for himself and he wants everyone to have as much meat as they
Yeah,
want.
everyone should
Like,
be able to
like
eat their fill, right?
exactly.
I think he's
Like
even said that before.
if
I
if
think it has something to do with world peace, but I wonder what the laughable part of it
his
is.
dream does not sound vegan friendly, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because like if he just said world peace and people were like, oh, you kill me, Luffy. It's like a bit much.
Yeah.
It's like I want to crash the moon to the earth and become the god of the new world. Oh, that's an
So
L. Never mind.
that's so
Um,
funny. He's like never into girls, but his dream is like, I want to sleep with every waifu in the show.
No,
I've just been
that's your
holding
dream.
off, bro, until I become the Pirate King. But uh, we learned from a flashback, from an O'Hara flashback, that Vegapunk knows Dragon. In fact, Dragon asked him to join the revolutionaries early on when they were just starting up, and Vegapunk was like, nah, because he didn't believe they really had the numbers to do anything. They also both knew Clover from O'Hara and respected him greatly, so much so that they paid a visit to O'Hara after the Buster call to kind of pay their respects. We then learned that Jaguar D. Sol survived
Yeah.
the O'Hara getting frozen on O'Hara, which again emphasizes the fact that Kuzan is 100% not a villain, because not only did he spare Luffy and Robin in the past, he also ended up sparing Saul. Saul then saved a bunch of books from O'Hara, which the librarians there sacrificed their lives to protect.
And let's just respect that too. Like how these guys, as a final stand, everyone thought, they were just murdered helplessly. But no, as a final stand, they actually saved all the books as they were dying, which is so fucking cool and shows
They
so
didn't
much
save all the
integrity
books,
for.
but they saved some of them. And then Saul took them and he went to Elbaf with them. So we know that Saul's alive and then he's at Elbaf and that he has that secret knowledge that the world government tried to destroy. Vegapunk then went to Elbaf, met with Saul personally, and read all the books. So now Vegapunk has all that knowledge, and we haven't gotten a lot of reveals about the knowledge itself, but we did get the reveal that the ancient kingdom from the Void Century was more technologically advanced than even the present time. So that modern technology that you see is often actually based on the ancient kingdom's technology, even though that was 800 years ago. This is something we've all been kind of assuming or speculating about, but it was directly confirmed by
Hmm.
Vegapunk in this arc.
That's a pretty crazy mind fuck because Vegapunk's so smart, he has the brain fruit, and he still doesn't know how they made it work. Like
Yeah,
the
so that
the
makes me think
robot.
that
Yeah.
makes me think if this ancient kingdom was so advanced, like literally 1,000 years ahead compared to what we have now, how did it fall? How was it defeated? You know?
Hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. So the reason why he couldn't figure out the robot is he can't figure out like what energy source it's using. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
It used an energy source that was like, that's interesting.
But you know what often happens with those situations, like when people team up on one team, like in Attack on Titan, like there's usually the possibility of like a traitor within, you know,
Hmm.
or perhaps like it's fucking full Attack on Titan, and
Yeah,
there's a situation where they're like, yo, we haven't been using this power correctly, like let's just screw ourselves over, kind of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people were speculating that maybe the source of the power could be related to Joy Boy and the Sun God fruit, Nika, and that they haven't been able to tap into the power source because the Nika fruit hasn't awakened in all this time, right?
yeah, that's
That would
possible.
be that's
And
hard
it
to believe,
and would
but
he
we'll
and
see.
in theory, Luffy would be setting everyone free or setting a lot of people free if he was able to like create this never-ending energy source.
Yeah,
And
but I don't believe it because then he dies and like everyone just loses energy. Like doesn't make sense.
that's true.
That would be hilarious if it's like Luffy's dream is to create the ultimate energy source. It's like, bro, you're not a scientist. What?
Like where the
Means
fuck did
means
that
to an
come from?
end. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, like there's devil fruits in this world. Hockey is like a huge thing. I feel like when someone gets to Luffy's strength, even if he's going up against like something super technologically advanced, like I could see the kingdom falling when you have all these other like or whatever the one advanced kingdom versus all these other kingdoms like grouping up on it that potentially have like very strong hockey powers and devil fruits and
I'm calling it though. There was something
yeah,
internal. There's no
I
way
think
they
that's
just
it's a good
yeah.
idea.
That's
Plus,
the only
we
thing that
don't know
makes
what
sense
type
to
we
me.
don't know if at the time the enemy kingdoms were also using advanced technology and they just like wanted to put it
I
all
don't
like
think so. I don't think so because
Well,
like it's kind of implied that like
I
they
doubt
were
they
the
had a
ones using the.
monopoly.
Mm, that
following
would be my
from
assumption. Go ahead.
following from these reveals, we also had Vegapunk asking
Oh,
the Straw Hats to take him with them, essentially, joining the crew at least temporarily, which was a huge, crazy thing in the community, because we now know that the world government is not happy with Vegapunk, and in fact, they've dispatched CP0 to go to Egghead Island and assassinate him.
hmm,
And in order to help them, they got some of the pacifistas, the new pacifistas,
yeah.
and also we got
Lucci,
Kaku and Lucci.
Kaku,
Rob Lucci's back, and um,
Dusty.
Stussy, Buckingham Stussy, bro.
Yeah, that show was crazy. I don't know if you want to take it step by step or if we want to just go all over the place,
Before we
but
jump into that, I do want to say that it was 20 kingdoms allied, potentially with ancient weapons. Okay, now we can move on.
yeah, the ancient weapons part is definitely could be a important factor, but I don't think they'd have like access to all the technology that
No,
the
I don't think they had
Well,
access to all of the technology.
yeah.
it
I'm
makes
just saying it was a different time. They probably had some
it makes
technology.
sense that the ancient weapons were used by the ancient kingdom because the world government has been looking for them but hasn't been able to find them, right? And the poneglyphs talk about them. So that means if the poneglyphs were created by the ancient kingdom, then clearly them talking about the ancient weapons and the fact that there's poneglyphs in places where the world government doesn't know about them and they don't know where the weapons are,
Hmm.
it suggests that the ancient weapons were used by the ancient kingdom. But if Emu has Uranus, then it's possible that maybe Emu was a traitor who took Uranus away from the ancient kingdom and used it
Exactly. Internal
something
conflict,
like that.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I like that.
like I was saying, I feel like very rarely is it that like one side has all the chips. That never happens in war, you know?
Yeah, it's just that if you look at where is Pluton, it's with the fishmen on Fishman Island. So not a world government
That's true.
stronghold. If you look at where is what's the other one?
There's the one on
Um,
Wano.
Pluton, yeah. So Pluton is on Wano, which is not aligned with the world government. It was deliberately isolated from the world
Hmm.
after the Ancient Kingdom and the Void Century. So that suggests that the ancient weapons are being kept from the world government on purpose by the Ancient Kingdom, or remnants of the Ancient Kingdom.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's fair. But currently, you think that we potentially think that they have your Uranus or Uranus, whatever.
Or
Um,
anus, bro, not my anus.
They have
They're not
Briggs'
touching
anus.
my
you got
anus,
my
Brig.
anus, man.
Um, yeah, so that's potentially it, and I think that's interesting. I think that's an interesting idea about Emu, like betraying that and possibly being from that time period. Like it's crazy, but it goes with Emu's mystery and buildup.
That's another thing. We don't know why Joy Boy apologized to Poseidon and the Mermaid Princess at that time.
Presumably because he didn't fulfill his promise to bring them to the surface, but that could probably be because he lost the war, right?
Yeah, that's true. Man, there's so much we're learning. I love it. Okay, so chat's making fun of me. They're saying, Briggs, do you remember who Miss Bucking is? Not even a little bit.
Oh, you don't remember?
Who's that?
Do you remember Weevil?
No.
Uh, Whitebeard's so-called son in
Oh
one of the
Yeah,
yes,
the
I
world
do.
guy,
war.
I do remember
the
Weevil.
guy to claim to be Weevil, the guy who claims to be the son of Whitebeard. Well, he has a mother.
Got it. And that's Miss Bucking.
Yeah,
Miss Bucky, yeah.
she's like an old, small old woman.
So is she confirmed to be the lady from Rocks Pirates or no?
I think it is. Like, it's pretty clear that
I
she
did
is.
see stuff online like suggesting it. I just didn't know if there was any proof about it.
Yeah, I think it's basically given that she is actually the original Buckingham Stussy, that she was a member of the Rocks Pirates, and she was cloned, and now her clone is the one with the vampire powers.
But that's the fucking crazy thing then. Then it would make perfect sense for when they were on the crew together, especially if she looked like that, for her and Whitebeard to have sex and then Weevil to be born. Like
So
it makes
Weevil
sense.
is Blackbeard's biological child.
Whitebeard.
Whitebeard's
Yeah, I
biological child,
mean,
I mean.
if this is a clone and this is how she looked, like yeah, they could totally be the
Yeah,
case.
I mean, it is such an Oda thing.
It
Like,
is.
create this joke where it's like, there's no way you're Whitebeard's son, you poser as fuck. It's like, oh no, he was actually his son.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Meanwhile, he
so
has
Oda.
all these people on his crew that he calls children, but his actual one child
Yeah,
neglected.
One
true
Piece is full of
classic anime dad.
fathers like that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I do like the fact this is hinting the fact that we have like the reveal of another Rocks pirate, and that they actually are returning to the story at least as a clone. I think that is suggesting that we might get more about Rocks and his pirates soon, which is such a major mystery in the story that's linked to God Valley and to so many other things. So I think that this is a good sign that we might be getting like a God Valley flashback.
Yeah, I agree. Like the rock stuff, it has been thrown in so often that like I really think we need like something more concrete soon.
For sure. So how did you guys
Both
like the fight between Lucci and Luffy?
it was just fun for me. Like it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like Luffy having fun. It was cool seeing awakened Lucci.
Yes, it
And
looks super
obviously
badass.
obviously it was never a doubt in my mind that Luffy would come out on top and that Lucci
Yeah.
wouldn't stop him. So that was the only thing. But they make up for that for the fact that now Stussy seems to be gonna take out Kaku and Lucci and be stronger, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's
I feel the
crazy.
same way because it was never there was never a point in time that I thought that Lucci could beat Luffy at this point. Now that he has Gear 5, but it was just like a fun kind of nostalgic thing of Lucci coming back, showing off an awakened Devil Fruit, which is always cool to see. But yeah, I always knew that Luffy would be stronger, and the real twist now has been Stussy turning on Kaku and Lucci.
And the why, because like yeah, is she not even on the Marine side, or does she just use them as weapons to get stronger? Like it's
Yeah, it's like
definitely raises a lot of
also
questions.
why was she cloned? How is the clone different from the original? Is there someone connected to the Rocks Pirates actually still pulling the strings and plotting something, or are they just remnants now doing their own thing?
Is she
Like,
secretly a Blackbeard pirate because of Blackbeard's tie to wanting to be like the modern day rocks? Like I don't know, but interesting stuff.
yeah, yeah, very interesting stuff.
I must say,
And
I
fight,
love watching Luffy fight in this new form. Like he's always like, there's been times where he has a smile on his face when he fights, but like it's like a perpetual one now, and he looks like, I don't know, it just suits him so well.
yeah,
I feel like it almost. Yeah, go ahead.
it's like you're Elmer Fudd fighting Bugs Bunny. Like you're not gonna win, bro.
How crazy would it be if we come to the point though where once, like even in that form, like some guy's pissing him off so much that he can't smile. Like that's when shit's gonna go
Oh
down.
yeah, that'll be a badass moment for sure. I did really like seeing the awakened version of the zone types though.
Even Kaku, bro. That was so funny. An awakened giraffe.
Yeah, it was badass, man.
Bro, you don't mess with a giraffe. Okay.
That's the thing. I'm glad that they didn't take that too seriously because Oda quickly kind of like as soon as he showed his awakening, Oda is like, "Yo, don't worry, he's not the main villain. Zoro will fight. Stussy is gonna take him out real quick." I'm glad that they did that because even though it was awakened, it's like, bro, awakened giraffe is not gonna fucking do anything to Zoro.
I always found it like not annoying, but just like maybe a little bit how quickly the entire crew put on those like boots. Like I understand Luffy putting on the boots and falling right into a trap where like, oh, like now you can't move, whatever. Like you're in an advanced place. But watching all these other people put on the boots, I don't know.
I love that focus,
Like
that like minute focus
it,
on boots.
yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me a little bit because like obviously the crew's strong and they're very confident in their abilities, but like you're not so dumb to just, I don't know, completely like it ended up
Well,
working out. Vegapunk's on their side, leaning towards their side, but it's like if the Vegapunk wasn't, you're just falling into a trap. And I
if
feel
it
like
makes you feel better, just assume that hockey could like destroy the boots, you know, if they
Yeah,
really
at
needed
least
to.
Zoro
I think
wasn't an idiot.
Zoro and Sanji would definitely be able to break out if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I feel
Zoro
like a
didn't put
hockey
on the boot.
release could destroy them.
Zoro stayed in the boat, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, that's right, that's right.
And
Zoro is the one that might not have put it on if he was there.
yeah, he didn't. I don't think he did.
If he
Because
was there, even. Yeah, he didn't
wasn't
because he
there.
was
Although
not.
the style of it looked really cool.
Also in
I did
Oh,
Film
enjoy
yeah.
the
Red,
outfits this arc.
in Film Red, I appreciated that Zoro, like they were all talking about like, oh, we're going to Uta's concert. She's like this idol, and they're all fanboys. And Zoro's like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm only here because I have to be. And then
I
when like
didn't watch Red, yeah. But go
when
ahead.
fighting breaks out, Zoro's like, finally something fun to do.
Is Red
I
worth
like
it?
that they made everyone else like like a super fanboy, but like they didn't break Zoro's character for it.
No, it's perfect. And he stands out even more because of it. I'm just wondering, like, is it too much concert music focus or is Film Red like amazing?
It's okay.
I don't think it's
It's
amazing, but
like
I do think it's
I
good. I
don't
think it's
think
worth a watch.
it's fun. It's a fun watch. It's not going to like give you any crazy reveals per se or anything like that because it's a movie, but it is worth watching.
Yeah, that's one thing that'll always be lacking with One Piece movies because one thing that we all love is the world and the mystery and the reveals, and you can't really like, even if it's canon, they're not gonna like release like really cool important information in a movie, right?
Yeah, until they start doing like what Demon Slayer did and just do an arc in a movie and
Yeah, no,
stuff
I
like
don't think
that.
One Piece will ever do that.
Although weirdly enough, they apparently revealed in like a special booklet that they were giving out at the movie, like information about One Piece. They revealed that Shanks was found as a baby on God Valley by Roger.
Which is huge.
Yeah, which is a massive
Well, that's interesting.
bit of information, and it was only revealed apparently in this like extra material that people got when they went to watch the movie in Japan only.
That's so dumb in my opinion.
It's like a little clue that you could not hear and still enjoy like the real reveal in the manga, but I mean it's definitely pays off for hardcore fans when they're like, "Yo, this game changer was just revealed.
As
This is
long as we
insane.
also get the reveal in the manga, you know.
We will, I think. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be revealed
I
that
mean,
Shanks is a celestial dragon.
at the end of the day, the movie has some great music, some badass moments. I do
It's one
enjoy.
of the best selling of all time in
I
Japanese.
do enjoy the characters. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, there's some definitely cool moments.
I was doing some research for like the Demon Slayer movie, and I'm pretty sure like Film Red got into the top like 10 or 20 already of Japanese box office bestsellers. So it didn't like get close to Demon Slayer, but still like it was the best for like it was the second best for a shonen series releasing a movie.
Yeah, I mean, Oda
I'm
making
losing
money,
my
that's for
voice here,
sure.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's the most best-selling movie One Piece movie to date.
Dude, what the hell is going on with Kuma right now?
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
You know, I heard a theory in the comments section, which is that uh Vegapunk put like the spirit of that ancient robot or something into Kuma, and his real memories and spirit are obviously in that bubble that we saw that Bonnie is approaching to touch. So like that obviously doesn't have to be true, but it's just a thought because he seems to be like the robot, like just mindlessly going towards that specific destination.
Yeah, so Bonnie revealed that Kuma is her father, and
Yeah,
that
which
he
wasn't
was
crazy. Yeah.
and that he was not any sort of tyrant or anything like that. That he was a good king, and that everything people are saying about him is wrong. We know he joined the revolutionaries. He was one of the founding members, and then he started turning into a cyborg for whatever reason, and Vegapunk did experiments on him. Bonnie blames Vegapunk. She believes that it was Vegapunk's doing and the world government's doing that they destroyed her father. However, it's more likely that Kuma cooperated with them for whatever reason. Now, what is that reason? Is it something like um, his memory was backed up on the cloud by Vegapunk and he used his body as a vessel for something else, like Gozen, like you were suggesting?
I
What
think
is his
something along those lines is guaranteed. Like, didn't Vegapunk even say like that the human soul is like 21 grams or
Yeah,
something?
Kuma can push out anything in
And
theory. So.
and Kuma has the soul fruit or something along those. I don't remember exactly what it's called. And we know there's no way that that fucking thing is actually just pain, like a bubble of pain.
No, it's not.
I
And
would
Bonnie
love to
even
see the
said it.
color. I would love to see the color of it. Bonnie caught on right away. I think at the a minimum, it's all of his human memories, and potentially even his soul.
I agree 100%.
And then I
Minimum
think it's an
memories.
interesting theory in regards to.
But
Like,
then it's like, what is the soul? Is it our memories? Like, you know, like that kind of question might be raised as well, like philosophically.
And what was it? What was replaced with? Like, what did he?
But he
end
has
up
the
doing with
pawpaw
body?
fruit, just so you guys know.
Pawpaw
So it's
fruit, there
called
we go.
it's called the pawpaw fruit. But the idea is it could push out anything, even ideas.
Guarantee you, Bonnie is gonna touch the bubble, and that's how we are gonna get the Kuma flashback.
Flashback. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I
wonder. I
wonder what-
wonder if he did something with, like you said, the theory with the robot, of like
Yeah.
of previous technology of the whatever the lost civilization. I'm curious about that. That's an interesting theory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did
and-
speak to me.
And the Kuma flashback is obviously going to be essentially a revolutionaries flashback, right? So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, revolutionary stuff is always like interesting right now. Every time we get a bit of dragon, you know, I fanboy hard.
So is what is happening with Kuma right now the present? Like him trying to climb the red line?
Yes, that's the present.
So
yes.
basically, Vegapunk removed all of his memories. He slowly,
his command,
he
Kuma
slowly,
wanted it to.
Yeah, he slowly lost his humanity over time and became like AI, this pure technology. He was working at Marijoa or being held as a slave and being used by the celestial dragons. The Revolutionary Army rescued him, and now he just went berserk and is climbing the red line, going back towards the celestial dragons. What the hell is going on?
I agree. That's a good question.
Yeah,
This
does
is
he
why
have
One
some
Piece is
kind
the
of
best.
mission
This
that he
is
was
why One
programmed
Piece is
to
the
do?
best, chat.
Does he have some kind of mission he was programmed to do? or what is going on.
Yeah, that
And
was a slap in the face to Dragon when like they rescued him and then he's like fucking rescued and then he's like, oh, I'm going back.
they risk so much to literally re infiltrate the Reverie and rescue.
Yeah, and which is I don't know, it seems kind of stupid to me that he didn't tell like at least Dragon what his plan with Vegapunk was, but I don't know. Well, I guess that should be explained later on.
Must be some reason, yeah.
But if Vegapunk, who's a friend of Dragon, and Kuma are in a plan, like why not just tell Dragon? You know.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see. The
Dragon,
Kuma
yeah.
the Kuma
Go ahead.
storyline is being peeled slowly apart, and I feel like it's going to get explained fairly soon because
It is in
obviously
the
Bonnie
flashback.
Bonnie being what like with the Straw Hats now and being such an important part of the story is intentional, and it's all going to be connected.
Yeah. I also wanted to say that the Stussy clone idea raises questions as to who else could be a clone.
Yeah.
Which could lead to obviously unsubstantiated, but theories of like some of our main characters actually being clones of other characters, which even if not true, is interesting to think about. Like, why is Luffy the new Joy Boy, or why does he have so many similarities with the Pirate King Goldie Roger, even having the same dream that everyone laughs at? Uh, Zoro, why does he look so familiar to some ancestors, and then we're told like he's not he's not the son? Is it just an ancestor thing or is it a clone thing? Like there's a lot of interesting ideas that can come from that.
Yeah, and there's also, could this explain Imu-sama being immortal because he keeps cloning himself, in order to keep ruling the world government, something like that. Um, Jokista says Weevil is a clone of Whitebeard. Well, I don't think so because they look very different.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case because
It
it
was the
just
first
it really
attempt.
makes sense.
It was a bad clone.
No, but it really makes sense for him to be an actual son because of the fact that Stussy was young, Whitebeard was young, they were on this famous crew, and it's just a legendary beginning. But he better deliver because so far he hasn't delivered on his like legendary parents.
Or maybe,
Guys,
or
don't
maybe,
don't don't underestimate Peachbeard. I think Peachbeard is gonna
I think
be
No,
Whitebeard
big.
he's done.
rejected Stussy. Just
Blackbeard,
Sigma.
what? What did you
I
say?
think Whitebeard rejected Stussy and just Sigma mailed no you, and then Stussy now is like, this kid is totally Whitebeard's son.
Hmm. I don't know if she was as hot as the Stussy that we see now. I don't know. Why would Whitebeard reject her? I don't know.
I think Gozen would go Buckingham on that Stussy, if you know what I'm saying.
God damn it.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's the end
true.
of the podcast. Woo, let's go.
I'm proud of that ending. If that's how we end it, I'm proud of that.
That was a good ending. No, that was a good joke.
No, but
I
I
laughed when I saw Stussy, to be honest. Like, I'm so mature.
I am
Dude,
interested because, like, why does Stussy have vampire
yeah.
powers? Like,
I'm
what
glad you brought
is
that
that
up.
a
Let's talk about that.
is that a devil fruit power? Is it like a mythical zone model vampire? Right?
Here's
That's
the thing.
interesting.
Here's the thing for me. I think it could be a mythical zone, and I think that the idea of clones, just like other humans, because I think even Vegapunk was talking about like, yeah, these clones are pretty much human. I think, and she was the first, which implies there's more. But I think it shows that yeah, like the clones can eat devil fruits, but also you're right, in the cloning process, they may have like added some powers, maybe copied fruit powers rather than the actual fruit, original
Yeah,
fruit. Who knows?
it's confusing now because with the new pacifistas, um, like with the
Yeah, they use the
artificial
fruit
ones,
powers exactly.
they were able to clone, like you said, Lunarian powers and devil fruit powers and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, now it's becoming very confusing in terms of, if you can clone people and you can give them all these different powers and create artificial people, and it's like, where does it end and where did it begin and how is it all going to fit into the story?
No, very true. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. And would it even be what would it be? Would it be a vampire one? Would it be a succubus, as a lot of people are saying? As that
Interesting.
would go well. That would go well with the Animac comment about like she can suck you dry. And then Animac just goes quiet.
So wait, which clone, which one of the pacifistas was able to like swim through the ground? Do you guys remember
Yeah, the Jinbei one.
the Jinbei one? That's
Yeah,
really
and
interesting.
it was a power from our boy,
Senor Pink.
Senior Pink. Yeah.
It's the fucking that is also brilliant. I keep forgetting that like we haven't talked about this for so long. Yeah, that was another thing that stood out to me. Like, bro, imagine the only thing a like a fish man is missing is being able to use his OP powers on land, and with that fruit, it's fucking perfect. Like
Yeah,
he
it
can
really
literally
is amazing.
use fishman powers everywhere. It's so crazy.
Yeah, and that made
The potential of these clones is crazy.
if I recall correctly, Frankie got upset because he thought that meant they killed Senior Pink in order to steal his devil fruit, but then it was confirmed that no, they didn't kill him to do it.
Exactly. So Stussy, we can't even confirm that this is like an actual fruit and not an artificial fruit.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I brought it up. I'm like, for all we know, if Stussy's a clone, all of these attributes can be like taken from certain individuals throughout the world. You know,
Hmm.
like if we know that these different races exist, they can apply those genetics to her. She doesn't even need to be that. Like Stussy could be a normal fucking blonde chick, and then now she has wings and vampire
Yeah,
teeth.
so Weevil's actual mother, the original Stussy, may not have the same powers that the
Exactly.
clone does.
Exactly.
But I also want to say that one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, and I think that Oda's definitely gonna do before Zoro eventually takes on Mihawk, is fight the Pacifista Mihawk. I think that's gonna be a milestone at some point. Now, if it's sooner or later, I don't know.
That's
But I think before he fights the real Mihawk, he's gonna beat that one.
I didn't even think of that. That's
I
crazy.
think that would be an epic battle. Yeah.
Or the previous the pacifista Mihawk kills Mihawk, and
That would be too much,
and
man.
then Zoro has to be the one
I
that
can't even
surpassed him.
entertain that because I
And
respect Mihawk so fucking
Yeah, I
yeah,
much.
respect
but
Mihawk too much, bro.
Zoro already dropped his pride for his captain because he put his dream second for that moment, and now and Mihawk trained him. I feel like
No,
a fight between Zoro and Mihawk. However, like I do want it, and I think it'd be cool. I feel like it just doesn't have the same weight as it once did.
Zoro, though, I 100% don't think Zoro will let his feelings for Mihawk like get in the way of him being number one swordsman. I think Luffy is a special thing, but he'll definitely like he has respect for Mihawk, and he might not even like kill him. He might do like a giving a shot that would take him out, like
Yeah.
when Mihawk initially beat him, but not like kill him for sure. I don't think
100%. Like they can have a duel without murdering each other. I'm just saying the duel has less weight for me, or I care about it a little bit less now, considering they're relatively on friendly terms, and like
I get what you
I
mean.
literally one trained the other. You know, like
No, I
Zoro
get what you mean,
Zoro
yeah.
doesn't have to hate Mihawk for him to have this ambition and to challenge him, but I do think it's a little bit less. Like I could really see Mihawk being killed and then someone else becoming the greatest swordsman. No, but no, Mihawk said he would hold the spot though. Fuck. I don't know. I could just see like Zoro beating this pacifista.
Here's the
that
thing, though.
surpasses Mihawk.
Keep in mind though, Mihawk also says like he focused on in their first meeting that a true swordsman can tell who'd win before they fight. So maybe Zoro will do some insane shit, and it would be like Shanks recognizing Luffy being a good pirate. He'll be like, Zoro, you surpassed me. Maybe it would be kind of one
Yeah.
of those situations rather than a duel.
I could see these pacifistas becoming so over the top, crazy powerful that they surpass all the originals and are some of the strongest beings on the planet or strongest.
And guys, they're
things on the
growing
planet.
too.
They're growing. That's
They're
what I'm saying.
growing.
They're growing.
That was said too.
So I think without a doubt in my mind, this pacifista is going to surpass Mihawk. And so,
I mean-
in reply to what you just said, if Zoro beats like the ultimate Mihawk, other Mihawk would have to acknowledge his skill and realize, wow, like he surpassed me.
Yeah. I don't love it, but I don't think it would be like terrible. But I just
I can't
fucking,
I can't think of another way for them to do it right
I
now.
don't want
I
anyone
hope-
to put dirt on Mihawk though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even more so than Shanks, because I feel like Shanks is going to get destroyed by Blackbeard. I do think that will happen eventually. I think that's just been foreshadowed. It's gonna happen, but Mihawk for some reason. I just don't want anyone to be Mihawk.
Rosen, do you ship Dracul, Mihawk, and Buckingham Stussy?
No, well, I mean, she's hot. Like the clone. The clone's hot. So I
Nah,
mean, it would be a good match because they're like vampire-esque. But no, like I don't think the actual characters will get along.
it's all about Mihawk and
Verona.
Aesthetically, yes, though.
yeah, Perona.
Aesthetically, yes. They
I
look
feel
good
like so.
aesthetically.
Wait, do we know anything about Mihawk yet? Did Mihawk eat a devil fruit? Why are his eyes like that? Is he like different? Is he a different
No, we
race?
don't know why those eye. That's a very interesting thing because different races are mentioned all the time.
He's a
Like the idea of
vampire.
different races, and they even said that that Kuma is a different race we don't know of yet. So I have no idea
Calling it
which
right
race
now.
that is.
I just came up with a theory. Mihawk's a vampire.
But Emu has the same eyes, right? So there seems to be something with those eyes, something special.
Mihawk is a different race slash potentially vampire. How do we
I
know
mean, he's
Emu's,
cool
How
enough
do
to
we
be.
know Emu's eyes? Fuck, I don't remember that.
Saw one eye.
That was the
Really?
big fucking reveal, bro. Yeah, look at the eyes. They're very similar to Mihawk's. It's just they were red rather than yellow. How significant that is, I have no idea.
Like Dracula, Mihawk.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
hopefully everybody got that. I think that's why Adam Mack was
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be like an actual race thing. But now it really could be.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things, a lot of loose ends. Like,
he's-
for example, Perona and Mihawk, and like,
He's really
Yeah,
got
that
the
was
he's got
weird.
the aesthetic for it with like the pale white skin. He's got like a fucking cross looking sword.
Yeah.
He's like riding on a coffin throughout the ocean.
And if you know vampires are supposed to be very like the originals are supposed to be very cultured, very polite society kind of images.
like the
Yeah, go
original
ahead.
Dracula was a aristocrat, right? It wasn't,
Exactly. And Mihawk has that going for him as well. So
It's
I
crazy
do
how-
think
Go
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, my bad, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say I do think it's related. Will he go so far as to make him a vampire? I don't know, but everything else is heavily taken from the Dracula character
Yeah,
in the original novel.
100%. It's like inspired by that. Like he even had like I swear he had like a candle with like a coffin boat as he was like going to the East Blue originally.
Exactly, the cape
I
and
always
everything.
saw the connection, but I never thought like, oh wait, he could actually be like of a different race until like more recent One Piece.
Yeah, because they keep flirting with more races. Like they keep throwing in more races, so it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
But how does he survive the sunlight?
I mean, that would suck if he couldn't go in the sunlight.
Yeah.
I do want to say also that his bounty was revealed, possibly in this section, and it was fucking bigger than Buggy's bounty, which of course deserved, but also bigger than Luffy's bounty. So this dude, who was known as being alone for a long time, has a higher bounty than two of the current Yonko. That's just an insane flex right there that I think everyone should appreciate.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Another interesting thing is that Vlad Dracula, the Dracula, he was the son of Vlad Dracul, with just literally Dracul.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and then Dracula would mean like the son of Dracul.
Interesting. That is interesting. So Zoro may be the actual Dracula.
Or Draculia. I don't know Romanian, but
I'm very well versed with Romanian. It was properly.
Exactly. We have Andrew Tate on the podcast, so he knows what he's talking about.
All right. Anything else you guys want to discuss? I'm kind of feeling like crap, so I need to call it soon here. My throat's
no,
giving out.
I think we covered most things. Obviously, there's gonna be some stuff we missed because so much happened. But I think it's still the arc is still building up to a crescendo. We haven't reached the climax yet. We've had a bunch of stuff happening, and now it's like there's multiple showdowns about to happen. We have whatever Stussy's planning.
Mention
Versus
Kizaru as well.
the
Mention
Straw
Kizaru.
Hats. Kizaru apparently is approaching the island, Egghead Island. We have Garp joining the
Oh.
fight against the Blackbeard pirates,
I
right? All
forgot
of these
about
things
Garp and all that.
have been set up, right?
Literally everything's
Yeah.
moving. I'm so excited for
Law is
future One
still
Piece.
fighting Blackbeard as far as we know. Like that fight hasn't concluded. So that's that Garp joining the Hard Pirates is probably the way I could see them getting out of it. Because before I was like, bro, no way Law is going to actually like win against Blackbeard. But with Garp joining the battle, then I think they have a much better chance.
True.
Yeah, Kobe was kidnapped by Blackbeard, and Garp is gonna go to rescue him. But I also think that we're gonna get a secret meeting between Kuzan and Kobe, where he's like, "Yeah, of course I'm a member of Sword all along, bro."
It's so predictable, bro. I kind of want him to just be on the Blackbeard side and be like useful for Blackbeard pirates. But we'll see.
I don't think so, because it's
I
like
mean, you're right. Yours is the
deliberately
most
he
predictable
risks
thing.
his own life to save good people multiple times. Because if it was found out that he saved them intentionally, he would be executed. So it just doesn't make sense that Kuzan would willingly join Blackbeard and actually be on his
But we
side.
don't know why he did, right? That'll have to be revealed
That's
before
true.
we can make judgments.
We
Well,
don't
either way,
know his goal at all.
even if he was like, I'll use the Blackbeard pirates for now, he'll end up turning against them, right? So
True.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope like just because I don't want the Blackbeard pirates to get weaker, just because I think that they're gonna be one of the big antagonists at the end that Luffy and the Straw Hats have to conquer. So I don't want them to lose power because they'll just be all the more interesting if they're powerful and then they get beaten still. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, Kuzan is someone to watch out for.
well, don't underestimate Peachbeard. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, that dude's like did nothing. I don't. He shouldn't have even been allowed to be like associated with the name Blackbeard.
I can't stand Peachbeard slander, bro. Come on.
Dude, he got wrecked,
I
man.
don't
He
even
got
know.
wrecked by
I
the
don't even know
people.
who.
Dude, he got wrecked by the people of the village he was attacking because what's her name? That one revolutionary pumped them up using her devil
Hello,
fruit
Betty.
powers. Bello Betty pumped them up, and they freaking like beat Beachbeard. Like he's so.
Bro,
he's
I
so
don't even know who this.
To be
Peachbeard
fair,
is.
if Bello bet me pump me up, I'd fucking beat anyone. You know what I'm
but he
saying?
lost, bro. But I get what you mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
this guy is Peachbeard.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
All right,
It was
guys.
just
I
a
think this was
random
good
thing.
episode.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure when exactly we'll do the next one, but we'll try not to make it
Once
this
a month
long.
is what Gozan's pushing for, guys. So if I get my way, we're gonna do at least once a
I
month.
think every 4 chapters would be ideal.
Yeah, then that would be all over the place with no
Yeah,
schedule.
it all
but
depends
we'll
on whether
see.
it's every week or every other week. But Hooky Wookie, thank you for the 1,000 magical crystals. Saying Kuzan may use Blackbeard to destroy the Celestial Dragons. Maybe.
Ooh, that's true.
We'll see. I think Shanks is a Celestial Dragon, so Celestial Dragons are gonna play a big part for sure.
I will be uploading this to YouTube chat. I don't think
Oh,
I've
well,
I've actually
you never will.
I've uploaded almost all of the One Piece ones because they're very easy to upload because we did them once never.
Yeah, and they are like, an awesome podcast that we have right now. Probably one of
I'm
our
definitely biased
most
towards the
popular
One Piece
by
one.
by episode, by
Yeah,
views per episode.
literally-
So I think that it's worth it if anything is.
The last 2 One Piece episodes have been uploaded, so I haven't missed that at least.
Yep. Thank you guys
Cool.
for continuing to support the One Piece Virgin. If you want us to keep it going, just spread the word and also leave a like or leave a 5-star rating or review wherever you're listening to the podcast. For example, Spotify now has ratings. You can just give a 5-star review. You don't have to write a review if you don't want to. It's just like you just click it's 2 clicks basically. So if you are using Spotify, do us a favor and do that. Yeah,
All right.
I think
Anyway,
that's it.
boys, good podcast.
Thank you, Gozan and Briggs, for joining me. Thank you, everyone in the chat and everyone listening after
My
the fact.
pleasure. My favorite podcast.
We'll be back soon, and until that time, see us, Space Cowboys.
Bang.
Bang.